Who was the biggest loser tonight? Biggest loser, I mean, who lost the most momentum here? I would have to say Biden for sure. Biden gave a rambling answer, gave an answer that was riddled in insecurity, a follow about Venezuela that seemed completely off the rails. The delivery of everything was bad, stuttering and slurring, and record player slip up at here and there. It was just like, it was a mess. It was definitely a mess for Biden there. But I actually want to go in further here. There were more losers actually. Complete flop is how I would define motherfucking Harris and motherfucking Booker. Booker gives word salads and no specifics, and it's tilting as fuck, dude. Meanwhile, Harris is just like oh my god, emotional appeal and platitudes, the goddamn candidate, dude. Like, god, I don't know if she's like doing a really good job playing the game, playing the political thing, where it's like I'm in a search for buzz clips and sound bites. I don't know if she's playing that game. But it's like, oh, dude, yeah, the pandering was out of control, dude. But yeah, I think that definitely Kamala and Booker, if you're politically savvy, you found them the most draining to deal with, for sure. Klobuchar did deliver two good answers at some points that were like, you know, very detailed and nuanced, which was very, very refreshing here. Buttigieg speaks really, really well. I don't think he really gets, I don't think he ever loses traction in polling. But at the same time here, though, I'm not sure if he has like a nationwide appeal, but irrelevant of how I can speculate about his broad reception. For me, young, inexperienced, and compared to the other candidates here who can like, when you have him on stage next to, again, Warren and Sanders, it's like, I don't know. I can't take him too seriously there. So like, move aside, bro. I need people who are gonna, you know, give me more substance on their policy, and also weigh in with more experience than you. With that in mind here, yeah, to me, Buttigieg is still irrelevant. We move on. I think Sanders, during the Medicare debate portion, was probably when he was like clapping the hardest. But yeah, I mean, he did name drop the Medicare for all specifically. I do believe it was Warren during the Medicare segment who said that, someone finally called it out and said that, like, yo, all these frauds on stage who are saying that, you know, yeah, Medicare for all is cool and all, but what about choice? What about giving them choice? Do you want to keep the private so you can keep your insurance if you love it? And then finally, dude, it's been like 3 debates now, and finally someone said it. Who the fuck likes their current insurance provider? Usually it's some horse shit from their workplace provider. They change periodically without warning, and usually, unless you're a full-time employee or you have like an upper end position, it's usually giga dog shit. Sanders, I thought, did a great job during the Medicare for all. He did name drop the student debt forgiveness, the Medicare debt forgiveness, and I think that one can't be understated enough here. Like, he's the only one, from my knowledge, who said that he is in support and has a policy for Medicare debt forgiveness. Look on GoFundMe. Y'all know how the Medicare industry works here. You go in there, you break a leg, you're 30K in grand or 30K in debt. Goddamn, 30 grand in debt or more for a lot of shit, honestly, right? So it's like, oftentimes Medicare bills are so out of control. Usually people go bankrupt trying to take care of them, or they die from lack of preventative care that could have like been addressed had there been Medicare for all. Now, on that note here, I will say that I know people are going to tell me that like certain situations where there is Medicare for all or universal single payer healthcare, that they're waiting a long ass time for their treatment. Even with that in mind here, I would still say that, well, in USA, you don't get treatment at all. At least you get it eventually in Canada, or you get it eventually elsewhere where the systems are always providing care to a certain extent here. I would compare that, you know, anything's better than zero. And it's been proven to at least save lives and work, and ultimately cost less over a 10-year term. I thought Sanders did a solid job. Biden, like I said, the biggest loser in my opinion, probably really gonna drop down now. That was the very, very rocky performance all around here. Not good in my opinion, but I'll give you that right here. The biggest loser, Biden. Second and third in my opinion, Booker and Harris. That might be, I don't know if it's gonna be the public's reception though, but that's definitely my reception of the whole thing here. Next up, Warren dodged a question. I remember that, and I was a little bit let down about that one, honestly. Oh, Bernie clapped Warren indirectly by saying that he was the He was the only one who opposed the military budget increase, I want to say. It's like a plus or minus like net zero there. Like she's continuing her momentum right now, which she has, but I'm not sure she really like lost or gained much there. So yeah, Harris, terrible. Yang, okay. Yang was talkative. I'm just not sure like what more he can really do with what he currently has, right? Apparently I misunderstood what Yang meant by democracy dollars. So let me take a second here. Let's hop into this one for a sec. And every American gets $100 a year to give to candidates, use it or lose it. Those democracy dollars would, by sheer volume of the US population, drown out the influence of mega donors. Yeah, I just don't know if like this actually is true, which is scary. It's scary that if you gave every person 18 or older in US $100, that it might not even actually drown out how much money the top 1% has, or just like blow everything out. The idea of out lobbying lobbyists is original. I will have to say that actually. How do I feel about it long term? I admit I don't hate it. And the way Yang presented it was actually really, really insightful. I do fear that it's difficult to communicate. So I'm paraphrasing it as out lobbying lobbyists. And I could be over worrying here and overthinking it, but I feel like if I didn't understand what he was talking about specifically, like I had to get corrected here on what actually democracy dollars meant. I worry that the average person, like the average Facebook boomer normie, probably didn't follow it either. I mean, feel free to call me on that. Maybe I'm just being, maybe my ego's a little bit too high in that one. I'm not quite sure there. But next up, Beto O'Rourke. Again here, Beto wants to just like completely get rid of assault weapons. And I think he's a little bit delusional on that one. I'm not in disagreement that AR-15s and AK-47s are problematic. It's that, man, where we are right now, dude, it's, oh boy. This is the very thing that the fringe segment of our population exactly freaks out about. And the reason why they have like, you know, the hoarding of a fuck ton of weapons is for this kind of thing here. And because I do believe in the whole like backtracking of, if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. So if we didn't learn from alcohol prohibition, that kind of thing doesn't really work. The minute that you say that you're going to force buybacks of possessions of certain weaponry, that you're going to create a black market for those things, and it will just intrinsically boost their value, and it's going to make this like really awkward shit show happen. You have to attack the culture too, and you have to have a lucrative proposing buyback option for those weapons. As the great Andrew Yang would say here, money talks. You offer back something ridiculous like 5x the value of the weapon for a buyback. Money talks, man. Money would solve the bullshit. Wow, I think back here because, like, for example, like more things that have a lucrative buyback that kind of simulate the success of, like, I guess like cash for clunkers. If you think back to that, honestly, we saw a lot of sales of some Toyota Camrys. So I think that if you're going to do a buyback at all, it's got to be a lucrative one that's like optional, not mandatory, because then you're not going to pivot the culture towards a less gun infested USA, which is the start here. What else did Beto have? Beto's a joke though. Beto has a Medicare for America, not Medicare for all. He believes in keeping private insurance. It's a pile of shit. Man has been donor spoiled by oil companies, so he can say he's like wanting to go green or whatever, but like his track record's definitely been that of like pro fracking. So Beto is just Omega Law, not even. Honestly, hopefully he's out of the next one by soon. And then finally, Julian Castro. Julian is polling dangerously low, and he did do some talking points. I'm not sure if he had the bite though, honestly. To the point where I'm not even sure anymore. Like, is attacking Biden really how you're gonna like? I feel like I know him currently now as like the immigrant, the immigration candidate here. I might come off as like really jaded here. I'm not sure if that's like the most dire issue that people want to hear about right now, compared to like say Medicare or the other big issues. So it's given I know him as that, and I don't know if he really did a bigger bite on like identifying himself as more. I just don't see him like really getting further in. So he's pulling at about 1.5%, and I don't see that really dramatically changing as of right now. Because if you wanted to boost your poll numbers more, you would just do what the Kamala and Booker do and just like play the game. Unfortunately, I hate to even admit this here. You play the game and you do the emotional appeal, platitude, word salad, nonsense, bullshit all the time. And you go from there. If you want to like get your numbers higher or whatever. Who's out? I would say Julian, Beto, and Amy are probably the bottom three who would not have the polling to keep sustain themselves alive. I wish Kamala and Booker were out, but they're playing the politics game to the T. They are slime balls and they're weasels, and they should leave immediately because they're incredibly disingenuous people. But yeah, they're gonna stay there. They're both just those guys essentially. But I do see that the gap closing on the top though. I think Biden's going to drop even further down now, and you'll see Sanders and Warren further close that gap on Biden. Who are the other losers besides Biden? ABC, man. Those moderators totally beta. Some of those questions completely garbage, and some of them were actually very stale talking points. The fact that they did a Venezuela socialism framing, like a literally like a 2 to 5 year old Fox News propaganda talking point again, is like, dude, man, y'all are so boring with this shit, dude. God fucking damn, dude. But fuck ABC News. Oh yeah, and the Medicare, yes or no, or taxes going up. And just to elaborate here, when you admit that the middle class taxes are going up, taxes are going up, right? And it's like, dude, this gotcha was done by CNN so long ago, dude. So boring, so lame.